Hello everyone, my name is Lachlann. I write for Money Morning and I'm also an analyst on Exponential Stock Investor. Today I'm going to run you through three things. So this is the recent rise on the Chinese stock market, the potential for a Chinese debt crisis, and the impact this could have on major Aussie miners. Now here you have the chart for Fortescue Metals Group, which has been on an immense run. And the question is, can this run continue? Well, a lot depends on what happens with the US and China, as well as what happens with China and Australia. And here you can see a few headlines about the US ramping up pressure on the country and the closure of the Houston consulate. So what's been happening in the China stock market recently? You can see both their major indices have had a very strong run up. And this was in part due to Chinese media urging investors to embrace the stock market rally, and the two largest indices responded strongly. So where do we go from here? Well, there's an important thing to consider, which is that the Chinese household debt to household income ratio has been steadily rising since 2007. The Chinese household debt to GDP ratio, as you can see here, is relatively low. But I believe income could be the crucial factor in all of this. And I wrote recently about a run on Chinese regional banks and how they dealt with that. And there's a lot of strain on these regional banks at the moment, which is reflected in the downtrend for the reserve requirement ratio in the country, which you can see here. And recently, the federal government made a budget forecast which accounted for a sharp drop in iron ore prices down to US $55 a ton. Now, this would be a 50% or more decrease from current prices. And there's a question as to whether or not China will pivot to Brazilian iron ore supply if the relationship with Australia sours. So this is something to keep in mind, and there could be clouds of risk around some of the major iron ore miners like BHP, which has had a strong run up since the March market lows on the back of some strong quarterly numbers. And it's a similar chart for Rio. And Fortescue Metal Group is up significantly, but this is in part due to the fact that it's a pure play iron ore miner. So what does this all mean for Aussie investors? Well, I think it means that there is a new investment environment coming, or at least on the horizon. And on that topic, we have an excellent special report out from our chief editor, Greg Canavan, on the specific measures you can take to protect yourself from a potential crash on the Chinese stock market flowing through to your Australian investments. And you can find out more about this in the video description below. So please check it out. It's a must read, and have a safe weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.